Welcome back to it, guys, in our morning show where, as usual, things that you definitely want to take note of and put into your to-do list, if you will. Because this year is particularly special. The month of August, we will be celebrating for the first time, specifically, African emancipation. And that means the celebrations and observances need to be adjusted a little bit, if you will. And this next one is doing exactly that, taking us to the Southland, so that I want to welcome to tell us more about the Freedom Festival happening in San Fernando. No stranger to the Now Morning Show, Empress Ajay, the event production manager, and Kinder John, the event marketing manager, to tell us how we are going to celebrate in a grand way. Ladies, welcome.
Good morning. I'm feeling strange.
How come?
Every time I come here, I've been there performing.
Yes. This
no, yes.
Today you're not wearing your performer hat, you're wearing your event manager hat. And it means that you could tell me what it would look like and feel like. But before we get to that, because as we acknowledge the difference of how we're observing Emancipation Day, Kinder, if you could tell me a little bit as to what that significance translates into the Freedom Festival.
Okay, so for the Freedom Festival, we are celebrating the freedom, our freedom of hair, our freedom of skin, our naturalness, our beauty, how we express ourselves, our diversity, our celebrating our ancestors, what our ancestors did for us or opened for us.
I like that you categorized hair, skin, significant things that we can identify, or cultural significance for that festival. And that means then, Ashley, that the format of the festival is not just performances or music. No. It has a number of things we could look forward to.
Yes,
Describe that to me now.
Well, again, thank you for having us here. And as Kinder said, the celebration, it encompasses all of what she identified. So rather than just performances, cultural performances, which of course we would have, the celebrations are actually 2 days, Friday the 2nd and Saturday the 3rd of August. On Friday, we have a procession, which starts with the point of libation, because it's an ode to the ancestors. You must have the invocation. So Friday, we would have the invocation, which starts the procession. That's 8 o'clock. And that's happening by Hatter's Spaniard Roundabout, right, on Lady Hills Avenue, which takes us through the streets of San Fernando. And Kinder could probably touch again on the route. And that now opens the celebration, where we would have Kids Corner. We would have, we would be interacting with the kids as it pertains to the awareness of emancipation. Not just the kids, but we have to start with them. A lot of the youth, they are not aware of the history. They are not aware of our ancestors and what they came through. So that is the difference. We would be emphasizing that, respect. A lot of people would tell you, like, respect going through the door as it pertains to men, to women, and vice versa. So we would be looking at all that, actually interacting with young people, finding out how they feel about a lot of things, why they address women the way they do. We need to hear from them. So it's going to be a fantastic celebration. Fantastic.
And she's given you the hard task of telling us that route, because when you talk about a procession, I immediately think of the Emancipation procession that takes place in Port of Spain.
Yes.
Is it going to be similar?
Yes, we are going to have a similar procession. We will be along Lady Hills Avenue, going up to Queen Street, and we will march up to Harris Promenade from High Street, where we will begin the procession there.
Okay. Now, that sounds like it's allowing communities to be part of the thing, because we're passing through a good few spaces. Tell me about some of the collaborative efforts, because I'm sure there are entities that would have helped to make this happen.
So we are collaborating also with Emancipation Support Committee. Yak and Friends is also on board. We have a number of churches, the Coquier, Spiritual Baptist Church, Mayaro, we have from Mbakade also.
Right.
We are welcoming CCC to also be part of it. Scout City are also going to be part of the procession also. Welcoming the youths, as we say, it's for the youths also, so we are welcoming the youths into the procession.
Now, Ashley, you told me about some of the activities to start things off, but you're saying it's 2 days, so what can we look forward to on the 2nd?
Right. So on the 2nd day, we specifically focusing on Afrobeat, reggae. We're going to have steel pan as well on the Saturday, because the Saturday ends it, so we want the ramage, right? And we want to focus, as I said, heavily on the youth, and we know Afrobeat. Afrobeat is taking them by storm. And a lot of people even making the comparison in terms of the beat, soca and Afrobeat, they say, but you know, it ain't how much difference, right? So, but again, we cannot ignore the youth and what they gravitate to. So Saturday, the program starts from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. But we having vendors on both days. So both Friday and Saturday, we're going to have vendors at the space. You're going to have food, craft items, right? And as I mentioned before, we have a kids corner, right? Focusing on the kids, storytelling, face painting, but all in all keeping with the theme, moving forward with our heads up. Because as Kinder mentioned before, it's a collaborative effort. Empress Music, the Office of the Mayor of the San Fernando City Corporation, as well as the Emancipation Support Committee. So it's all our energies coming together to give this grand celebration.
Now, can you touch on some of the aspects of culture, for example, that we explore? You've told me about the Kids Corner, the storytelling. We know music is a big part of it.
Yes.
Hair and skin specifically stood out. I'm wondering how those will be highlighted. Are there particular events that highlight that part of our culture?
Well, because it's 2 days again, and you know, it's going to be tight, so there would be specific booths.
Okay.
And you would be looking at different styles of hair, and you know what they're doing now with natural hair. So
well, not really, because I don't really have much of it. But
you choose to cut yours, but I've seen hair on your head, you know, and the braiding, and it's not just braiding; it's what they do with the braiding now. But again, it's all to have people of African descent to love themselves and to love their hair and their skin. You know, we must be specific. It's people of African descent, because I think that therein, let's be real, therein lies the problem.
right.
You know, it's not highlighted much in terms of self-hate in other races, but the celebration is not just for people of African descent. You know, Trinidad, we know it's a cosmopolitan nation, and we want everyone to come out and support.
Okay. Well, let's make sure that they do that. We have just about a minute left, and I want to make sure that we know how we can be part of it. So is this a ticketed event, or can we just come out and join?
Right.
No, well, it's a free event. As Empress said, we are going to have makeup artists there too. So if you want to have your tribal makeup done, we are going to have that. The Kids Corner is going to have a Nancy storytelling. It is going to be proactive. We have the art project, because we have involved all the schools. So we have the art project, which is going to kick off our Do Good, Trini Good art project, where we'll be doing murals in San Fernando, Presentation College, Monrepo, all these schools and environs. Their arts will be on display also. They have done some wonderful pieces. So
it's happening at Harris Promenade.
Harris Promenade, City Hall.
Harris Promenade. You know, you can't miss Harris Promenade. That's right where City Hall is. Yeah, that's
and
where.
So we are taking the dates, the 2nd and the 3rd, to celebrate our African emancipation in the South Side with the Freedom Festival. You can be a part of it and find out more by staying tuned to TTT, as we will continue to remind you. But for now, we're taking a break to come back with some action you don't want to miss.
Ian Smith and Booth